Namo good morning. Thank you for joining us for daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The third mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I'm determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I'm determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Today's Dharma reading is The Protective Power of Truth by Ajahn Jotapalo. This is from Beginning Our Day by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery. In quite a few of our Parita chants, there is the line, Etena Saka Vejana Soti Te Hotu Sabada, which is roughly translated as, by the utterance of this truth, may there be safety, protection. About a month ago, I was on my solo retreat reading a book about the stories behind the Paritas, the protective chants. There was this touching tale from the quail's protection chant for warding off fires. As the story goes, there is a baby quail that is alone in its nest out in a field, and a fire begins to approach the nest. The quail is too young to take flight and not strong enough to get itself to the ground and run off. Its parents are out foraging for food. The baby quail is really in a desperate situation, so it makes a statement of truth, which is, I'm alone, without my parents. I'm weak, I can't fly or run away, and there is a huge fire approaching. By the utterance of this truth, may I be protected. In the story, the wind then shifts, and the baby quail is saved. I was reflecting on this in terms of truth and honesty, really being present for what is happening as well as taking stock of the situation we're in. If there is some difficult interaction we have with someone, we can try to catch our reactions before getting upset or offended and try to relate to the truth of our experience. Sometimes when we state the simple truth to ourselves that this hurts, we can cut it off right there. We don't have to go any further into the difficult situation. That's a good thing, because if we did go into it further, we'd likely complicate the matter. Why did this have to happen to me? It's not fair. I didn't do anything to deserve this. And then get lost in negativity. So instead of doing that, we can emulate the baby quail. Even if the wind had not shifted and the quail had died, well, at least he wasn't blaming anyone, wallowing in self-pity or being negative. When Ajahn Sucitto was on pilgrimage in India, a group of robbers attacked him and the lay person he was traveling with. In a book they later wrote together, Ajahn's traveling companion said of himself during that robbery, he reacted like an animal, fighting and fleeing out of fear. Ajahn Sucitto just stayed there with the robbers, quietly and calmly dealing with them. When the leader of the robbers held an axe over Ajahn's head and was about to murder him, Ajahn Sucitto calmly recited, Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. He came into the present moment made an honest assessment of the situation, and found himself truly ready to die. Needless to say, Ajahn lived to tell the tale, and it might well be that his honest presence and devotional recitation on that day was what preserved his life. There's a real protection and power which we receive when, instead of focusing on what might happen in a negative situation, we bring ourselves into the present moment, honestly and truthfully being available to the circumstances we find ourselves in. There's no need to wait for fires or murderous robbers to confront us. We can take advantage of this protective power in any moment of our day-to-day lives. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.